Want some candy?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
I hear you looking for candy, man, bitch.
Give me some sugar, baby. Like scary movies.
Uh-huh. Want some candy?
So much wax.
Gucci tees. Oh, so much wax.
So much wax.
So much wax.
Yeah. All right. What's up, you waxy little weirdos? Welcome back to another episode of Monster Candy Podcast with the usual suspects, or unusual, depending on if this is a first-time listener or not. Oubliette Sparks from Tsunami Bomb, Gucci T, Mike Terry from the Jukebox Romantics, and myself, Screaming E from the Memphis Murdermen. And tonight it's Rumble time. Remake Rumble time.
Oh, yeah.
As we're going to talk about the 1953 House of Wax. Well, yeah, we'll discuss 1953's Andre de Toth's House of Wax and the, I don't even know how to pronounce this name, Jom Colette Sarah.
Oh, that's pretty
2005 House of Wax. But before we even touch on those two little fuck nuts, it's time to talk about some horror news brought to you by the Handy J Place. Time Bomb Toys, located at 300.
Not at the mall.
Not at the mall.
I see, not at the mall.
Located at 300 Camp Horn Road in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Check them out online at timebombtoys.com or in person.
And there's an ice cream shop nearby.
There is an ice cream gimmick right across the street. So you could get horror paraphernalia, memorabilia, all the good horror stuff, hand jobs, and an ice cream, or burger, or fries, or like a slush, or whatever
Crinkle
you
fries?
fancy.
Slush? Is that a new sexual thing? The slush?
Probably.
I'm hoping for crinkle fries or waffle fries.
Dude, I had some good fries today. They
You know
were
what?
fries I've
Did
never
you?
seen before. Oh yeah, real good.
I'll investigate when I go next time. I'll just
You do.
walk over there and get back.
I feel like we need to be educated, especially since we talk about it on the podcast. The fact that we don't really know all the offerings surrounding Time Bomb Toys is a little
It's true.
crazy.
We need to make a map of places to visit when you're visiting Time Bomb.
Yeah, I mean, I might have to go
Day trip.
next door and check out this sauna massage place and see what they offer for real.
Massages, clearly.
And report back, obviously. Meh. But, you know, maybe something extra.
Finally, so we're told, apparently, maybe, just maybe, we're going to get the Crystal Lake show.
Oh, yeah.
24.
Oh, that thing. That's right.
A24 and Peacock's Friday the 13th TV series is coming together for real this time after all the rights being taken back and whoever's fucking running this thing being taken back. It's like a saga that probably has its own YouTube video dedicated to it. But Bradley Caleb Kane, the producer or one of the producers of the show, posted on his Instagram fucking scripts and wrote Crystal Lake Production offices are live. It's happening. Machetes for everyone. And that was, a recent post, a recent sign of life for this A24 Peacock Linda Cardellini starring prequel. So pretty cool. I have faith in it that it'll be good. Linda Cardellini just alone sold me on it. I know tons of people have been attached to this thing over the years that this has been happening, but it'll be nice for this to come to life. It's the guy who's doing it is he did Welcome to Derry, which I didn't watch, so I don't know anything really about how well that was received or done. But pretty cool.
Did it even come out yet? Welcome to Derry?
Maybe it didn't.
Yeah, I don't think
Maybe
it did.
didn't. Maybe
No,
the
it has
trailers
not.
just dropped. Yeah.
Yeah. A while ago, since I have Victor Miller on my work route and see him pretty often, I was gonna inquire because I was curious because I haven't heard anything for a while, but last time I mentioned it, he was just kind of like, I don't give a fuck as long as I get my money thing. So I was like, he's not going to know.
Yeah, he doesn't know. Right?
I'm like, he's like, whatever. They'll let me know when the fucking money starts rolling in, and that's that. So it's like, yeah, I better not ask him. But that's cool.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we will see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I
That's all
don't believe
mine is.
anything anymore.
No.
We're in the
No,
age
not-
of things just getting shelved. Like they will spend millions on stuff and be like tax write off, whatever.
I
Mhm.
don't know if this is something that all movie and media fans go through, but I think we are a specific group of people, of musicians, where we've been overpromised things so much in our lives that like until we're actually there doing it, and maybe even then we might not believe it's happening. So I'm a firm believer of I'll be excited for this show when I see a commercial for it somewhere.
When you're actually watching it, that's what it comes down to at this point.
I feel like it's risky business, especially at this point of the game with Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and all these sort of IPs that are like in legal limbo for so many years. Like, we'll see what happens, but I'm excited for it if it does happen.
Yeah, well, that's funny because that stuff being shelved kind of leads into my horror news that I saw. So King Kong of Skull Island. So they're supposed to be from creator Joe DeVito. The King Kong of Skull Island saga is gonna put out some like prequel books that kind of talks about King Kong's upbringing. Did he have two parents? Was it?
Two dads,
Yeah.
two moms, no
Yeah,
mom,
who knows?
grandpa, cousin.
We're gonna find out, but that'll be cool. If anyone likes to read the stuff, but also it's supposed to be getting some sort of TV show as well, which could be interesting. I mean, I am a sucker for King Kong, so I will like that. But yeah, according to the property's official website, King Kong of Skull Island, the first fully comprehensive King Kong origin story, and the only such prequel sequel created in partnership with the estate of King Kong's creator, Marion C. Cooper. And it says Worldwide Builder will partner with DeVito Artworks and the Marion C. Cooper estate to develop books that expand the King Kong Skull Island universe. And that's cool because that was initially what Marion C. Cooper wanted to do.
I was going to say, can
was
you
focus
educate
on.
me and the audience? Are there other King Kong books or comics or anything like that out there?
Oh yeah, there are.
Yeah.
There's books of the movie. There's a ton of them because they're
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
But there's been other sort of King Kong related graphic novels and
they just
sort of things like that.
I feel like they just might have done a King Kong, or was it Godzilla? Some sort of crossover with like the Avengers or some shit in the MCU.
Sure.
So there's all kinds of little fun stuff like that.
That's fun.
But that'll be cool. If there's the TV show, that would be kind of cool too.
Aren't they bringing back the show, the Monarch show, or he's not on that?
He's not on it yet, but
Not yet.
They alluded, yeah. And that is because I checked in on that.
Finished it.
Not too long ago. I mean, it like I said, it's the episodes are hit or miss. I'm fine with it being around just because.
Well, of course,
monsters are rad. So,
yeah.
And speaking of monsters, Shudder has acquired a World War II creature feature, Orang-Ikan. Yeah, so set in 1942, a Japanese ship transporting prisoners of war to occupied territories for slave labor is torpedoed by an Allied submarine. Stranded on the deserted island, a Japanese soldier and a British POW soon discover that they are being haunted by a ferocious mythical creature, the Orang-Ikan. They realize that they must work together to survive the unknown despite their differences. I watched the trailer. It's up on bloodydisgusting.com. And it's very...
Sounds a little too familiar for me.
Yeah. Well, it's very The Creature from the Black Lagoon-y as far as the creature looks. But whatever. The trailer looked good. Like it looked like it was well done. So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like monsters.
We do like monsters. Yeah.
Meow, meow, meow.
Yeah, so back to the previous news. There was supposed to be like the Island series that they were working with Disney and James Wan producing, the Skull Island like TV show, but that was back in 2022. And but it says that it's still like it's still on the table. So we'll see.
So much like that you hear about, and like 5 years later, they're finally like entering production.
Right. And then it's almost like, did the ship sail on that already? Did you miss the boat?
Yeah.
That's all
Definitely.
I got.
I have two.
Ooh.
One's a little shorty.
This was
so
for
they-
the shorties.
Exactly. They just announced the cast for Ready or Not 2, which I am excited about because I thought that movie was a lot of fun. And even though it's in a lot of movies, I like watching rich white people do rich white people shit because it's just really funny.
Yeah.
And also probably not so off base as you would think. Like as I was watching Ready or Not, I'm like, yeah, that's probably happened.
I mean, rich people in general. Look at Diddy. Kanye's going crazy now.
Oh, totally. No. Yeah. Rich people definitely in general, but there is also like the rich white old money thing that is just like its own genre of crazy rich people. Because when you get into that super old money, they're just totally whacking you.
Yeah.
So they announced the cast, and it's pretty interesting. Catherine Newton's in it. She was in Abigail. She was kind of the ditzy one, but I liked her, the tech one. Sarah Michelle Gellar, which I think is interesting because she's showing up in a lot of stuff now. She's in like the Buffy reboot type show.
Right. Her resurgence.
Yeah, I think maybe, I don't know if her and that dude had kids and maybe now they're grown or what, but she's
Isn't she in I Know What You Did Last Summer or something? Is she going to be in that?
Oh, the new one?
I think so.
Yeah, because isn't she the one who doesn't talk to Jennifer Love Hewitt anymore? And they've had interviews about how they like weren't talking during filming. I'm pretty sure,
life? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have a thing in real life. There's something going on with that group that two of the women aren't.
Well, I'm sure Ian will be on TikTok later and find it for us.
Yeah,
exactly. Yes.
It's getting in my algorithm right now. The phone's
already
listening.
It's getting all of ours now. Elijah Wood, who I am entertained by in most of his things, and then oddly enough, David Cronenberg is acting in it.
Whoa.
Yeah. When I saw his name, I was like, oh, he's taking over directing. No, same directors, but he's one of the main actors in it. So,
okay.
I don't know. And it seems they're putting the first one did well enough that they're putting a little bit more money into this one, at least with the cast. So, I don't know. We'll see. But I'm excited to see more rich white people doing rich white people old money shit.
Okay. I'm all about that.
So the next one is interesting.
Ooh.
We talked last week about the next movie from the Barbarian director and how he had kind of created this website and was like developing, my favorite word, lore about this next movie, and had like the fake newspaper article on the site. So there is another movie coming out. Oddly enough, it's being done by Paul Sauter, who was the Super Troopers and Club Dread in the Broken Lizard Troupe, and the singer of Ice Nine Kills. which I've never heard of before.
Ice Nine Kills are like they're like in every horror movie now. They're like a horror movie band.
Oh, interesting.
They're like new metal, screamo metal.
They're like Twisted. You remember that band? Twisted?
Yeah, or Slipknot or whatever.
I like block
whatever.
out that stuff, so I think I just like. When I saw Ice Nine, I thought like Ice Nine was a rapper, but I didn't know there was a Kills after it. So like that's how far removed I am from this sort of thing. But they apparently have a front person too called Spencer. That's his name. But so he's co-writing it with the Broken Lizard guy.
Interesting.
It's being done. All the effects and makeup is being done by the same dude who did like The Walking Dead.
Robert.
Greg Nicotero.
Oh, Greg. Oh, yeah.
Yep. So he's the executive producer.
Okay.
Of this thing, but it kind of got announced a couple days ago because a website popped up. And you can go there. So the name of the movie is The Slashin' of the Christ. Slashin' without the G, Slashin'. Right. So you can go to the Slashin' of the Christ.com and
like breaking or thrashing.
Yeah. Put your email in to join the gospel. And if you go to, there's an Instagram too, Slashin' of the Christ, same thing. And it's a bunch of kind of like creepy videos that are like building up into whatever this is going to be. I don't know. It kind of looks cool. And it's going to be a slasher comedy.
Okay.
So I like slashers. I like comedy, but it apparently takes place at St. Bishop's College. They don't really give a lot of information yet as far as what's going on, except for 13 undergrads have been found mysteriously butchered. And yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Definitely not into Ice Nine Kills the music. That dude Spencer, he's always hooked into something with The Last Drive-In. He was on one of the last episodes. I'm sure he's a nice dude or whatever, but it just kind of
not your cup of tea.
Who knows? Maybe he's a really cool guy. Just on screen, he kind of came off as someone who thinks they're really witty and funny, but with like a dry humor funny.
What movies have they been a part of?
They were the big song in Terrifier 3. It's probably where they've gotten their most, probably like biggest name out there. Why? Like they're on a lot of festivals and tours. They do like a lot of
I mean they
metal stuff.
Good for them.
But he's not like in horror movies. They just like do.
Oh yeah, no. Actually, I think
he might have been in one.
I think they're opening it for Metallica on this next Metallica tour.
But their like whole stage show is centered around horror.
Yeah, it's like a horror show, right?
Yeah, and they do a lot of stuff with conventions and everything like that. So, which is cool.
Look at his picture. He looks very clean cut.
Oh, he is.
They're deep horror nerds for sure.
Yeah, so that's good. But
I
don't know. It wasn't.
Oh, but then I guess on stage he has his little persona. Yeah. I don't know.
Welcome to Shit Talk Cast. Potentially talk shit, but we're not sure.
Good for him. Good for
him. Well, hey, I just talked shit about him, and there's a picture of him where he looks like my husband. So maybe I should shut the fuck up.
Hey, you guys saw that they dropped a new trailer for Hard Pivot. Did you see the trailer for the new Predator movie dropped? And I think it looks terrible.
Yeah, I haven't been a fan.
I didn't watch it.
Okay, so
I saw like 5 seconds of it.
I was scared to watch it.
Did you see Prey?
We did an episode on it, and there were things.
For what it was a nice surprise. But I thought this looked interesting because like they have like the Whale and Yutani aspect of it all.
You guys can't hear E's face, but it's there. Just imagine what he's doing.
Yeah. We weren't thrilled with it. We thought it was fine, but
sure,
it was not
until my little ray of sunshine entered the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dom did that one with us, and he was like real pissed off that the actress was acting like an American teenager in his words and not like an American Indian, and he just couldn't get past it.
Yeah. Which was a thing. They were all very Keanu Reevesy. Bro,
They
whoa. You're like,
They were.
I like that part of it.
Well, the new one's coming out, and I like that it's connected to the Alien universe with Elle Fanning's character. Well, I'm not a big Elle Fanning person, but Elle Fanning's character being connected to Wayland Yutani, which is cool.
right.
I like anything Wayland Yutani because it's like I'm hoping the Aliens TV show is really diving into the backstory of all that more.
Yeah, the thing with the Predator stuff is they end up they humanize the predators too much.
Well, this trailer, that's what they did.
Right. It's like, oh, you're basically like some natives with an alien head.
Right.
Is how you come off. And like, I want a fucking weird alien creature.
Well, you have that in Alien, sir. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Although Alien took a turn too, and the mother started getting a little maternal. So
Mother.
Yeah.
I guess all monsters do have hearts.
I guess.
I guess.
Damn it. Ugh.
Bleh.
Ugh.
We should make that a shirt.
All
monsters do have hearts.
That's pretty good. Wolfman's
Oh,
got
and we could
hearts,
each
monsters
just
got
have
hearts.
like, it could have each of our faces, but we only wear each other's, not our own.
Yeah.
We wear each other's faces, like Leatherface.
Yes.
On our shirts that say all monsters have hearts.
I wish there was a ring camera by me today. I had a Leatherface moment. I was trimming hedges by my house on a ladder. I was reaching really far for it, and I had to get off the ladder, and there was a fucking bee that came by me.
Oh no.
And I fucking like spun around with this fucking chainsaw with this bee attacking me. Like, and I'm sure to like the outside world I looked like fucking Leatherface.
Like, what's wrong with that dude?
You need to be careful. You're going to Final Destination yourself. Okay?
Yeah.
Don't swing that shit around.
I know. Well, he was a bee, and I'm fucking terrified.
You're scared of bees?
Fucking hate bees.
He doesn't want to get Macaulay Culkin in.
Yeah, that's true.
What was that movie?
My Girl.
My Girl. Yeah.
How could you forget the name of that? That was like trauma in a film. That is one movie I will never watch a second time, and I still remember seeing it in the theater, and I wish I could forget it.
He needs his glasses.
Yeah.
I can't see without his glasses. My Girl. I've seen My Girl so many times, but the movie definitely ends before he dies. Like, I just turn it off before that happens.
I used it. No.
Oh my God.
Anything
the
else?
people who made that movie should be like tarred and feathered.
Yeah.
Also
Evil
made the Wicker Man
fucks.
remake.
Evil fucks.
Yeah.
Oh, bees. Bees.
Not the bees.
Not the bees.
Not the bees.
You know what bees make?
Honey.
Beeswax.
This is true.
And you know what movies we're doing tonight?
Yes, we do, because you picked them.
That's right. So we'll end this part of horror news, folks. It's time for it. All right. Let me give a brief synopsis of both. See how they differ. 1953.
How will they differ? Let's see how they're the same. Wax.
Yeah.
Wax people.
Houses.
That's it.
Right.
There's a house.
All right, here goes the 1953 one. An associate burns down a wax museum with the owner inside, but he survives only to become vengeful and murderous. 2005. Dun, dun, dun. What the fuck's going on with this? Here we go. A group of teens are unwittingly stranded near a store.
Teenagers? Let's say a group of like mid 20 to early 30 somethings.
That's why I started laughing. A group of teens, quote unquote, are unwittingly stranded near a strange wax museum and soon must fight to survive and keep from becoming the next exhibit. All right, let's pick one and we'll do what we liked and what we didn't like about it.
Let's go 53. Let's start
Okay.
with the earlier.
All right, cool. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
That seems appropriate.
So I chose this movie recently because this Rumble.
Because it was your turn.
This isn't a school project, Terry. Just get to it.
So this movie holds up so well. And at first I was worried that it wasn't going to, but once it gets cooking, it really gets cooking. And it's like actually like when you see the wax figures are fucking scary, and Vincent Price is like full on Vincent Pricing in this. And, we get Carolyn Jones, which is just crazy to think about. Like at the time when I first saw this movie, I did not put two and two together that Morticia Addams was in this movie.
Yeah.
Like at all. Did not get that at all. Also, when doing research for this movie afterwards, that Charles Bronson is in this movie.
He's the assistant.
No idea.
Mm-hmm.
I did not realize it.
Oh, he's Igor, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's so funny because when I think of Charles Bronson, I think of Death Wish.
Yeah.
But I don't think of him in this movie. So, yeah, I just think this movie is really effective. It plays like a play, like a theater play.
Definitely.
And it's very theatrical vibed. And we know that it's based off of like a 1933 movie, but it's pretty cool. Like, this was a 3D movie. It was shot for 3D in mind. It cost a bunch of money, but made a shit ton of money. How much money did this movie make? It made something like $23 million, and it cost like $1 million to make, which is like fucking crazy to think about, at the time.
For sure.
But yeah, like when and I don't know what it is, but for me, when I think of Vincent Price, my mind always goes towards this movie and then Thriller. So,
interesting.
You're right, which is funny. Probably I don't know why, but it just does. So yeah, I thought this movie was effective. I thought that
Terry loves this movie. I love it.
Yeah, he does.
Plot twist, like the plot, just the way it just goes off is just really well done. And I love like just the fire in it is really realistic looking because it is, and we'll get to more fire things as we go on. But I actually really like this movie a lot.
This one caught fire too.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, it's kind of cursed in a way. It's kind of a cursed film.
Right.
But yeah, holds up and definitely enjoyable once it gets going.
Yeah. I mean, same for me. You pretty much mentioned everything I liked about it, except for Vincent Price's facial hair is the best. First his goatee and then his beard. I mean, impeccable. I thought the story was good. I thought the acting was good. The intermission is sweet. Even though it's not like a long movie, it still has an intermission. And they were saying that it's presumed that they did that because it was shot in 3D. So like for the first 40 minutes, people would need a break after having the glasses on for so long because 3D was still new, so they didn't really know how it was gonna work. So they decided to give them a little break, which I don't know, it just adds to the whole play thing of it. Carolyn Jones, Charles Bronson too. The fight scenes were awesome. I love old fight scenes from like the 40s and the
tussles.
Yeah.
Tussle is the word.
Because there's like, oh, hey, you're an actor, but we're going to fucking throw you on the floor. And we're going to throw you over the fucking desk. Like that shit's really happening. There's stunt men, but not because it's all like one shot. So they're like, hey, dive 5 feet over this fucking hardwood desk. And I'm going to catch you. And then I'm going to throw you into the wall. And then they just do it. So that was fucking rad. I did notice one thing. So when Vincent, spoiler alert, Vincent Price, the part owner, ends up being the killer.
Right. Yeah.
And he, the whole thing is his
clearly
buddy,
obvious from the beginning.
His business partner does him dirty for the insurance money on the place, burns him while he's in it. He disappears for a little bit, comes back, and what he's getting revenge on people, but he's creating these displays of wax, of his historical wax figures, but they're really people under the wax, which is also very Bucket of Bloody. But
That's my Marie Antoinette.
right.
He's so obsessed.
So, and the big reveal at the end when the main actress, Phyllis Kirk, Sue Allen, she figures out, oh my God, this was my roommate that you murdered, because she had an inkling for it.
Wait. She knew right away.
Right away.
Yeah, because the earring and everything.
And
Right.
it's 1950 something. Nobody believes her because she's a woman.
Right. Well, I mean,
nonstop. Even the cops were like, "Don't worry, little lady. We'll figure it out."
Oh, I love how her boyfriend's winking at the cops like,
She's
gonna take care of
crazy
it.
broad. But yeah, when she comes at Vincent Price, like, you're the killer. And he picks her up and she starts beating on him and hits his face. And then the clay face breaks off. And
That part, I just can't.
yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, boy, it's clay, but you can move and talk and everything. But whatever. So he's the killer. And when he first suspects that she knows and he tries to kill her and he's running through the town, he runs.
He had the best like boogity walk.
That is very Freddy Krueger.
Yes.
Robert
Yes,
Englund does that in the first one.
That's true.
When he's running, he doesn't run like that all the time, but he does do that little shimmy run through it. I was like, oh wow. I wonder if Robert Englund got that from this movie, because it's extremely similar. But yeah, I thought it was fun. It moves along pretty quick because it starts off like a play in like the first 10 minutes, but then there's like some shit that goes down. There's a fight scene, there's a fire, and then it just kind of moves along in that progression. There's like, here's one scene, and then we're gonna kill some people and we're gonna fight, and it kind of does that throughout the whole movie through the end, which is there is one part that towards the end, I forgot to actually do any research on this. One of the guys with the wax figures looks like a real man. He's on the table and he's like, there's one part earlier. Well, it looks, I'm almost positive it is.
I'm sure it is.
He was just a stand-in because you could see like the vein in his arm and his bicep. He's standing on the table. And there's one part where her boyfriend and Vincent Price or Charles Bronson are struggling and he's fighting them, and they bump the table and all the other mannequins kind of move. And he moves in the back.
He looks clunky.
But he's real heavy. And I'm like, that's totally a guy that they were like, just stand there for, 4
the effects
hours.
in this work really well. Like they're really well done. Like the wax looks really good. Like everything looks good in it.
Yeah, I like it. It's definitely very stage play though. So.
Oh God, especially her friend in the beginning.
Very.
Oh my God, what am I gonna do?
You're up, Oobs. What do you like?
Yeah, Oobs.
I am. I like the premise. The first wax museum in the United States was in 1948, and people were really fucking freaked out about it, even though Madame Tussauds overseas had been around for about 100 years at that point, I think, close to it. So it was very much something that people were already weirded out about as it came to be and didn't really necessarily know how to take. So I think the timing of it was really good. And also like, just the premise of it, I think is super fucking creepy, especially when you see these figures that look so real. I do think the practical effects were great. The sculptures looked like the people they were supposed to look like. I love how old school the film was. The guy who is in The Guillotine, Paul Picerni, that scene, that was a real guillotine. And basically what was going to happen was the prop guys were going to hold the rope and 2 guys were holding his legs, and the prop guys were going to let go of the rope first and let
course.
the other guys know to start pulling his legs so they could pull him out as quickly as possible. And he was like, no, I'm not doing it.
Smart.
So the director fired him and was like, get someone else. Like, he's fucking out. This is done. And then the studio came back and was like, no, you have to figure it out. Like, we've already shot this much. Like, this guy is going to be in it. And he's like, well, no, get a stunt double then or something. Like, we're not doing it with him. And
The days
studio
before
was like,
OSHA.
Yeah. And the studio was like, no, you are doing it with him, and went to the actor and was like, you're fucking doing this, but we're going to change it and make it like not a real active guillotine. But apparently to make it a little bit safer, all they did was like put like wax or something on the blade, but it was still a real guillotine that he had to get pulled out of, or it would have done something to him. So he was like,
Broke
I'll do
his
one
neck.
take. Yeah. He's like, I'll do one take and that's it. Like, I'm out. And so they did it in one take, and that's
Oh
the
my
take.
God,
That's
we'll throw in
that's
an
fucking
extra pack
crazy.
of Lucky Strikes
in the
for you or
film.
something.
I
Yeah.
know. No, I know. Could you imagine though, them bringing you to a real guillotine and being like, so you're going to put your head in this. This dude's going to hold a rope. These guys are going to hold your feet, and that guy's going to let go of the rope and scream, go. And then these guys are going to pull your feet before the blade can hit you. Like, no fucking way.
no.
Yeah, fuck that.
There's no
Especially,
fucking way.
Especially if, like, I don't know, like an actual movie set from like a real movie studio. You're like, nope.
And the fact that he and the director got in such a fight about it, the director would rather fire him than change that setup.
Oh, there's
the
lots
film.
of fighting in both these movies. I watched the behind the scenes on MTV of House of Wax 2005. There's a lot of drama going on.
Well, that's good.
I remembered that movie so much is from watching that, like, and remember them being like just fucking assholes to each other.
Drama.
Well, I mean, dude, even in the fight scene with Charles Bronson, Charles Bronson, Igor picks him up over his head and then just dumps him, like suplexes him right on the fucking ground. And it wasn't like he fell like, oh, I'm going to fall flat on my back and, fall right. He just dumped some dude like 4 feet in the air onto the fucking ground. So,
okay, so during
that's
that
surprising.
fight scene, that's when the fire broke out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. The fucking the fire broke out, and they just kept filming it and waited for the fucking fire department to come. 'Cause
Crazy.
They couldn't afford to stop filming. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But that scene's cool, and so is the guillotine scene, and they look real.
Yeah.
I wonder why they look real.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
But
you know what's
yeah,
really
so
funny?
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
There's a really funny goof in the movie. I didn't catch it this time, but I knew about it and totally forgot to look out for it. So the movie takes place in like the early 1800s, and everything is gaslit, right?
Oh, yeah.
But there's a scene where the police come in and they flip a light switch, and the lights just turn on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny. I totally forgot about it.
Yeah.
I should have looked out for it.
And the phone and everything. I mean, there was phones and all of that stuff around, but yeah, you're like everyone's lighting matches to turn on lights, and then there's little things.
Right.
Where it's like only this one room or this one place has this electricity. Everything else has to be done by hand.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty nuts. I like the end a lot too. Like when she's strapped to the thing and Vincent Price has got the fucking the wax going. He's setting the fires really
Bubbly.
quickly. Like it's really really kind of like brings out the suspense really well. It still creates like a feeling of dread. Like even 70 something years later, it holds up pretty well.
Yeah, because you're wondering, oh my God, I wonder if
Is he
this
a lighter
woman
on
got
fire?
fucking actually burned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Totally.
Wonder.
Yeah. So and dude, the amount of money it made back to you guys is pretty nuts. Like pretty nuts.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
20 times its budget. So
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know why this movie was in my head so much. So but for some reason, I something in my mind was like, I need a reason to go back and watch 2005 House of Wax, because I feel like at the time it was shit on a lot, and I feel like maybe there was something redeeming about it.
It became a cult classic later because of it.
But I never saw it again. I haven't seen it until the other day. I had not seen it since going to the theater. And my specific reason for going to the theater at 19 years old to see this movie was to
Paris
watch
Hilton.
Paris Hilton die.
Oh, yeah. Well, you remember like the previews, they just kept showing that sex scene, like of her in the red underwear. It was her undressing, and like every preview was that.
Yeah.
So like they literally used her undressing to get people in the theater.
And I think they started filming this
And they
movie.
did.
They started filming the movie before her sex tape came out. But the movie didn't come out until the sex tape came out.
Marketing.
Which is, well, yeah, at that point, they're like, we might as well fucking use it, you know? And it's crazy.
Yeah, because they thought there was a nod to it when that guy's videotaping her and the other dude make out in the car. And I remember in the interviews, they were asking her about that. And she's like, no, it was always in the script. But worked out.
I mean, it's her first real movie. The movie is based on her. All the marketing was about her. It was her movie.
Yep. Right.
You know, the director, their name is, oh God, he said it earlier, John Colette Sarah. This is his first movie. He went on to do Orphan and The Shallows.
Yep.
And so, you know, he had to deal with, you know, 5 20-something-year-olds in Australia fucking around, he was like, you know, what's a good idea? Joel Silver really wants to make everything out of wax, so let's do it.
Yeah.
And they built a whole city out of wax, which is fucking nuts.
We'll get to that. 1953.
Drop it down.
Well, we got it. What did
we
like?
rating 53.
He's making us talk about what we don't like. I'm not going
what didn't we like? What didn't we like about
going
it?
out of order?
Sorry. Just so excited.
I didn't like all the plot holes. I didn't like all the plot holes, and I didn't like Vincent Price's human face turning to wax. Cracking, not even wax, turning into porcelain.
Plaster.
That's what I don't like.
That was definitely one of the things. My biggest issue is period pieces like this in the 50s always seem to end up looking exactly like a stage play.
Yep.
Like the I mean, the wardrobe and everything. I mean, it's like really like watching a play. So it takes me out a little bit of the movie.
Yeah, it seems very much like we're on like 3 sets, right? It's
right.
Like,
yeah.
We got outside street, we got the inside, and then we got that's, you know.
Which, I mean, I get it because it's really like a straight remake of the, what was it? Mystery of the Wax Museum, the original 33 one, which is fine. But it's just, Vincent Price loves doing absolutely.
Would people see it?
I think so.
If you could do a big enough budget, if we could make set the stage on fire every night.
Yeah. But that was my biggest thing I didn't like is like, oh, this really looks like a fucking play at the community center. Let's get all the, and it's in color too. So it's very like the clothing is very distinct. But what about you, Gucci?
For me, it's always going to be that like, and mind you, it is pretty fast for a 1953 movie, but it's going to be like there's the pacing, and part of that is just like dialogue and time period and editing techniques of the time, you know. So it just the pacing doesn't feel as swift as it should, especially the beginning. But you know I feel like it's a major qualm, like a minor qualm. I don't think it's really like a problem I have with the movie. It just was like, this is an old movie, so this is how the pacing is.
Right.
You know, probably some of the questionable things of just like, you know, we can't believe these crazy women all the time. Crazy ideas. But technically, I mean, I don't really have anything too bad about it. It's kind of just it is what it is. It does the same thing that we talked about in the Frankenstein episode,
right?
Where it ends on like all right, well, now we'll see you later. Like a real happy ending out of nowhere. Just like we cut, and it's just like, and that was that. You know, like
I would definitely say if you're just getting into like classic horror movies, wait a little bit on this one. Until you get
hard watch
until you get the rhythm of it, to see if you're into them or not. Because if this is like going into the first one, there's some cool stuff in it, but if this isn't really your thing, you might be like, oh, this is fucking corny.
Well,
you got to put yourself.
I think
at
too
the time,
because
you know?
but I think too this one's so different than something like Frankenstein, where visually the movie
Right.
is so beautiful. Like this one is not high contrast.
Mm-mm.
It's that real kind of muted look. So like, yeah, you have to be someone who likes that time period of movies and that pacing of movies and that look, because it's not going to. There's nothing else that's going to pull you in, like really nice cinematography or things like that. Like
I thought it was shot well, dude. The scene where they're at the strip club,
it's shot fine, yeah.
the strip club, they're at the dance hall,
Yeah.
and the girls are dancing, and she's like, freaking out about her friend, and and she's like, "You take people here for like dates?" He's like, "This seems like a great place." It's like,
Yeah, see?
I just like, I thought that whole zoom in, when they were zooming into that shot, I was like, "Oh, this is really well shot for like for what it is."
Right. And the other thing, so Vincent Price is this classically trained actor, this thespian who's very dramatic and well spoken, and then you have the boyfriend and the cop who are definitely playing like 1940s or 1950s jabronis out of New York. They're like, yeah, we just gonna do this thing, and it's very, it's a real contrast of acting.
It's true. Yeah,
but
Vincent Price is on like just soaking up the screen.
Yeah.
I can't use my hands anymore.
Yeah. And then everyone else like, yeah, dumb broads. Bah, bah.
Yeah. So I think those things are
pretty much, yeah.
Like negatives of it. Like it's just like it's uneven in areas.
Yeah. All right, dude. I mean, I probably have less good things to say about the remake. So what would you like about it, Gucci T?
Oh, well, give us the synopsis. It's different.
Yeah. I'll reiterate. A group of teens are unwittingly stranded near a strange wax museum and soon must fight to survive and keep from becoming the next exhibit. Kind of.
Yeah. So this one lives and dies on like its practical effects-ness for me. I think
Absolutely.
there is a lot.
They're great.
There is a lot of practical effects going on, especially, if we're going to talk about the time period of 1953 and like the real fire and all the shit that they were doing on the sound stages in that movie with the guillotines and all that, we could talk about like how much, and it kind of sucks because we don't really get a lot of it from this MTV behind the scenes bullshit of the movie, but like it seemed like a pretty grueling shoot. Like they seemed like there was like a lot of physicalness to this movie and just a lot. It's a lot. And like this movie dragged too at times. There could have been like 20 minutes cut out of this movie.
Oh, dude, because it's like 2 hours long.
The whole setup is really kind of confusing too. Like, I don't know, like they're going to this concert and then they split off.
No, their football game.
The football game.
Yeah.
The football game. And then they split up, but like just two of them decide to just peace out. And then like, so it just.
Well, that's because the car's messed up.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And they didn't have room for him. So they were like, get it fixed. Like, we're going to this fucking game.
I'm not leaving my car, which is, I mean, Mopar or no car. So I get it, but
yeah. And so like this movie is the practical effects, right? Like it looks so good when things are good. The CGI parts had to be done to make it do the, their Goonies, Indiana Jones effects at the end of the movie. But there are, well, I guess we're just doing the good.
Yeah.
The good is the practical effects of this movie.
Yeah.
And the fucking soundtrack. We start straight up with the Deftones. Straight up, like right off the bat. I'm not even the biggest Deftones fan, but that song rips just to start. And then just like, and then we get fucking, and then we got My Chemical Romance, which is like they're blowing up right at the time. And just like, it's cool to see a movie that has like alternative music in it in a horror movie. A lot of it, I thought that was cool. It definitely screams 2005.
Barely.
But,
more like 1999.
Yeah, 99, 2001.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what just pretty much the effects is what's
Yeah, I
was
agree.
doing it for me. Yeah.
I mean, it was
And then
better.
there's a lot of problems I have with it too.
It was slightly better than Wrong Turn, so that's one thing I liked about it.
I like Wrong Turn.
Yeah, I like Wrong Turn also.
I mean, I like this one slightly better, but they're still in the same boat, and that's pretty much all I've got to like about it, because there's so many things wrong.
I like this movie.
It's ambitious.
Listen,
it's very ambitious.
Well, it's ambitious, and I love that they took someone like Paris Hilton and even like Chad Michael Murray, who had only done like One Tree Hill type bullshit or whatever he was in, and they did put them in this grueling thing. And like I wanted to have time to watch the documentary again, but I didn't. But from what I remember of it, it was very entertaining. And listen, for like what it is, I think the acting is actually pretty good for the level of this movie. I love the practical effects. I like watching these type of people die in movies.
Yeah.
They did a good job with the characters of like, you know, because all these movies where all the kids die, there's like the super tropes or whatever. But I think that they were actually less annoying than many of them.
So that's the thing. They were all supposed to be unlikable in all these movies, right? But I thought
these seemed like people you would know, other than
like
Chad
Alicia
Michael Murray,
Cuthbert and her boyfriend, who is not Chad Michael. Her boyfriend was actually really likable too, and
I forgot he was the actor in this too.
It's weird too, because there's also like a weird thing going on that they do not have brother sister chemistry,
dude. I was gonna say that. No, they have very well. I mean, they might if they fuck each other,
right?
Right.
It was very weird, and I think it's how it's written. Also, it's how it's written and how it's acted. But
twins
also,
are weird though. But also, weird. Those two were probably banging on the side. But also, twins are weird.
100%. They were
think so? I don't
absolutely
know.
Banging. They were for sure banging.
Or wanted to.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
there was way too much. Like
they were in Australia for 2 months filming this thing. You know, he was just he was buying wedding rings for the way they would fiance at the time.
That doesn't matter. The way they were touching each other and just how close they would get and how intense it was.
I don't know. If you watch this MTV documentary, it comes off that like everyone thinks that Chad Michael Murray is a fucking douchebag.
Yeah, no, but he is. That's the one thing I remember from that documentary, like for sure, is that he's like a whiny little fucking man baby.
I don't think she was really. I don't think she fucked him. But regardless, the fact that they really did build this house out of wax is crazy.
Right.
Oh wait, I looked it up. They dated.
See, knew it.
What? When?
Yeah. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. So,
dude, the house. First thing I want to say about the house
is crazy.
Okay, cool in theory, but literally
impractical.
How is it not gonna melt in the fucking heat
all the time? Like
they didn't have a giant cooling system or anything.
I love the Home Alone effect.
Found out
woman at the window.
Yeah,
open the window like Michael
they
Jordan
broke up. Guys, they broke up right before filming, right before production. So that means he got with someone else and got motherfucking engaged while those two exes were acting together.
Shit.
You know, there's some shit.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so Chad Michael Murray was dating Alicia Cuthbert before this started?
I wonder if that's why he's spinning out in that documentary, because he's like emotional
he went to go
overload.
He was like, I'm going to buy my engagement ring right now, like during the movie.
Well, probably to like show her up and be like, yeah, you fucking dumped me. I'm gonna propose to this girl,
right?
Because he does seem like a little bitch who would do that.
Absolutely makes sense.
The documentary is hard to watch. It's an hour and a half. It's all on YouTube. Dude, it's like 5 episodes, you know, because it's like 20 minutes. It was brutal, but it was worth it. Fucking yeah. I'm trying to think of more positives, but it's pretty much just the practical effects because there's so much of it. It's like a lot of real humans wearing masks, full wax figures, broken fat wax turning into like teeth, like splitting up. There's one effect that's so stupid, but at the end, when the knife comes through the fucking wall and it splits the mold of the twin baby brothers, it's too ridiculous.
It was so
And
smart though how they did that. That like the clippers through the grate, the knife through
That
the
I
grate.
like that part.
Like these are the movies that I would see. I mean, this one I saw as probably a teenager, or a young adult, but God no, I was older than that then. Anyways, we'll skip through that. Movies like this are like ones I watched while I was much younger that make me afraid to like put my eye close to peepholes or like
Oh, yeah.
stick my fingers in anything or like walk barefoot over a grate. Like I'm constantly paranoid of some sort of shit like that happening. So I hope that this movie did that to a new generation of people.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
I would assume people would love this movie if they're like 14 or 15 now and watch it. They'd be like, oh shit. Because the effects and the killings are like,
dude, it's pretty brutal at times,
Oh, yeah.
Like the head cutting off is pretty good.
Mhm.
There's a lot of that going on. I did like the callbacks to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's a few of them. What's his name? The guy who gives them a ride.
oh,
The first guy that gives them a ride.
right.
He's like super like the guy they pick up in the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He's like, look at my knife.
Mhm.
He even has a knife and says, look at my knife.
Yeah.
It's very,
Kind of, but he wasn't as creepy.
yeah, he wasn't
Or
as
he
much-
seemed like more sane, I guess.
yeah.
He just
I was
seemed like
saying
a
he's less of
hillbilly.
the R word. So, and retired. And there's another callback with the brother's name is Vincent Price. But
Yeah.
that was a nice callback. And that's kind of where the good ends. The music and the practical effects and and these nods to older movies.
Yeah. My biggest, oh god.
Yeah. And the fire was fucking
Right.
nuts. Like all that shit is crazy.
Yeah, my biggest issue with this is it just turned into like a generic slasher, and it took out all of the, get ready everybody, our favorite word, the lore of the originals.
Mhm.
And it's not the same movie. They have a wax house.
It's not a remake.
It's definitely not a remake.
Just in name.
yeah,
and wax.
yeah. And it was just too long. And then the wax house. The wax house was, because I do not remember anything but Paris Hilton from this fucking movie. I might have seen it once, like when it came out. I didn't go to the theater. I think I saw it. I think I might
She's
rented
not
it.
even that bad in it.
No, she's not that bad.
She's fine.
as
Yeah.
good as the rest of them. But I had absolutely no recollection except her scene.
Oh,
And that's probably because it got beat into everyone's head.
It was nonstop.
The
I mean, there
pipe
was
through,
right, there's
through the eye is so
some other scenes like when they start walking through the woods and they end up at the roadkill dump where they meet the guy.
Yeah.
Like I remember that part because just thinking like, oh god damn, like
Dude, how inadvertently funny it is when they don't trust the guy and they're like, we'll just walk. He's like, all right, it's just over the path. And they're like, they walk just literally just around the corner. And he's like, oh, he wasn't lying. Like,
Yeah.
They're like, we
it
feel
was
kind of
so-
bad.
So funny. It was like literally they just like maybe took 10 feet.
right.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he was there, a whole city. He's right. The whole town. Too good.
Yeah, yeah, but the fucking the house of wax literally was when it got to that part, because again, zero recollection of the entire house being wax. I was like, what the fuck is this bullshit? It's obviously the South or wherever the fuck they're in, West Virginia.
It was supposed to be like Georgia or something like that.
Right.
Something
I'm like,
that, yeah.
okay. And the house isn't melting, but it melts when the heat gets when the fire gets turned up too much. Like, get out of here.
How did the
but
fire
like
start?
everything
I must have missed it.
Like everything was wax, not like a frame
Everything.
build. Everything, every single thing. There's no
which was
fucking
trying to
way.
make me think while it was burning. I was like, what's causing this to melt? Like, what's burning to make this?
Oh,
wax
it's in Louisiana. Yeah, that shit
yeah,
melted.
fuck that. Well, because
it would make it through one winter,
one day.
Nah.
Boy, they were fighting the brother with the mask.
Okay, Bo.
In the
Bo, you're an artist. You're not like your brother.
in the basement or whatever.
You're an artist.
Because I think he was getting ready to whack somebody up,
Yeah.
and then they just turned it all up and decided to melt the place.
Got it.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a total get the fuck out of here moment for me. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
House was massive though. They're running up the staircase. It was a mansion.
Yeah. Dude, how everything,
wait.
carpets, fucking beds, everything.
You know what? You know what sucks though about this movie? The practical effects are so good that when you see the CGI, it stands out in contrast so bad.
Yeah.
Like the face
Yeah.
and a lot, and like the molten lava when they're falling through the steps, and then when they go through the House of Wax sign, and like they're like about to get crushed, it looks really good, but then it sinks, it looks terrible.
Right.
Where they're in it sinking, I'm like, man, like they spent a lot of money on this movie. Like, I bet you if they didn't have to rebuild a whole studio after building it down, they probably could have nailed this down a little bit better.
Absolutely, for sure. What were you gonna say, Oops?
Well, a good part of the year, Australia is hotter than Louisiana, and they built a wax house there and filmed this movie.
Well, it's built on a soundstage, though, right?
Was it in a soundstage?
Yeah, that's what burned down. The stage burned down.
Oh, okay. All right.
And was it a model or was it an actual house?
I think it was a house, and I think
it was a house of wax.
I think they burned down the whole lot. I don't think it was just like one soundstage.
Yeah, there was like a $7 or $8 million lawsuit.
Oh yeah, nobody was hurt though, thankfully.
No guillotines were used.
There was one person with a burn on their arm or something, like a nobody.
Still though, that wouldn't happen to just be standing forever.
So this was you know what's crazy is that Alicia Cuthbert, like her movie before this was Girl Next Door, which is a great movie, and she acts her ass off in it. And I feel like in this movie they just didn't give her anything really to do because it was like a slasher. And then that's it. Like I was thinking back, like what else did she really do? In movies, not much. Those were like her two most well-known movies, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in 24, right? The first season. Yeah,
she was on.
She was the daughter.
Yeah. So that's what she's like mostly known for outside of this movies, but pretty nuts.
Yeah. The whole brother sister vibe thing was super confusing because
they twins, man. They wanted to go for this twins thing because Bo and
twins are
Vincent
weird.
Were twins.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it was real confusing because it wasn't until the end, because I might have missed the part earlier that they said they were related, but it wasn't until the end when they were in the town that I'm like, oh, they're brother and sister.
Oh no, in the very beginning, because they're sitting at that place and somebody's like, why is your brother here? Who bailed him out of jail?
Right.
And then he keeps, through the first part of the movie, he's like pissed off at her because he thinks she turned him in and got him arrested for a stolen car. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I must have missed that. Because then I kept thinking like, well, which one of these guys is she dating or trying to date? Or is one of these guys her ex? Because it seemed very, I guess, incestuous at the, things they're related.
One funny thing is the guy she's dating is super, super tall, which is funny. And that's one of the reasons I was like, I don't remember him being in this because it never seems like he's as tall as he is in it. So they had her they had wooden blocks that they attached to her shoes. Anytime they're in scenes together because there was over a foot difference between their height.
But I mean, why would they make her be taller?
I don't know. And that poor woman, there's scenes where she's like running with like 2x4s on her feet.
Yeah, I mean,
it's pretty funny.
It had to have just been for the camera shots. Because otherwise, like you would think the guy would want to be much taller than the woman. Maybe she was like, no, I am not going to be that short.
No, I mean, he's super fucking tall. Right. I watch him in Walker, Texas Ranger, because I think he's just adorable. And he's like a tall fucking dude.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's probably for the...
Apparently they were going to make a prequel, but because it didn't do so well, they just didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, darn.
Rats.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it kind of gives it up in the beginning because I also, forgot everything, but especially the beginning with when the brothers were young. I completely forgot about that part. And then as soon as it started getting going, I'm like, oh, these brothers are going to be the killers.
Right. Yeah, it's very obvious.
Yeah. So that kind of, I mean, it was like too obvious. And the beginning kind of didn't make sense. Like it was like way too short of a, we're going to give you an origin of this. It's just like some random family. Oh, I like to make wax faces. And then the dad comes in and yells and they're abusing the kids. And you're like, what? And 2 minutes later, it's over. And you're like, what the fuck was that?
A lot of horror movies this year came out. So it was the first, it was one of 4 major horror remakes in 2005. The Fog, Amityville Horror, and Chaos, which is interesting.
Interesting.
And then also that year was Exorcism of Emily Rose. I can't, in my mind, I didn't realize that movie was that old.
Yeah, I didn't realize a lot of these movies were that old. Time
Yeah, because I
flies.
saw like Paris Hilton was up against Exorcism of Emily Rose for like some Scream Award or whatever, and that one won. And I was like, those two were the same year.
Exactly.
I did not think they were
The Fog
anywhere
as
near
well.
that. Yeah.
I always get The Fog mixed up with The Mist, which
The
is
Mist.
a better movie.
Yeah, I definitely saw the remake
Yeah, I do too.
of The Fog, but I can't remember it.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's a memorable one.
Well, it might have to be for another Remake Rumble.
No, don't even say it. Don't.
What? We
So,
thought you liked the remake rumbles. We thought you loved them.
Oh yeah,
We do.
You
singing
don't
a
like them
different
anymore,
tune now.
do you?
This is a different one though. We were pretty much all pretty much consensus on the Blob of where we stood on those movies. I feel like we might land differently on these ones.
Oh, I don't know.
No, I don't know.
I don't know about that one.
I think we celebrated the Blob a little bit more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're a little more jovial.
a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. I was just not all these movies, like aside from Scream, but I Know What You Did Last Summer, all up until the early 2000s. It's just all like the same. I mean, I get it. There's always been the same tropey teenagers or whatever, but they just seem
This
to
one
have
has the aesthetic of it.
right. They just seem to have more character back in the 80s. And like,
That's true.
Which is funny because they had less character development.
right. But
These
the
characters definitely have more development. But
Right.
not much.
Yeah.
but just the people in general were more memorable, and it's like, oh, okay, they didn't seem like they were acting as much. Like there was like a template. You always had like the stoner dude or the goody two shoes girl, but they just seemed more genuine, I guess, or just better in with more character about the person. Where these are just like,
this movie we're dealing with like 4 vapid early 20-year-olds.
that's what I'm saying. It's just like, all right, these are the characters we're gonna have for the next 15 years of slashers. So just pick and everyone's too good looking all the time.
Sure.
In the 90s through now, like I miss the days when there were some ugly people.
Sure, yeah.
And that's who they played. They played the ugly person, or they played the fat person. Nowadays,
No fat people are allowed to be in movies anymore.
Yeah.
That's
so
true.
so that's always been my issue with this
Sure,
time
sure.
period. I'm just like, oh, these people suck.
I
So
think
bad.
I guess that's part of it, though, right? You're supposed to not like them.
I mean, I guess, but I want to like.
You're rooting for them to die. That's the whole point, right? But in House of Wax, you're not. House of Wax, you're not going into it thinking it's a slasher movie.
Right.
That's true.
And
Right.
even earlier slashers, the Friday the 13th, the Nightmare on Elm Streets, like,
Are you not supposed to be rooting for them? No, right?
yeah, there's you like some of the characters which makes it even worse when they do die. You're like, oh fuck.
Do you
really?
though? Maybe Nightmare on Elm Street, but not Friday the 13th.
Some of them you don't want them to die, or you think they're funny. Oh, that guy's funny. And then
Sure.
he gets
Yeah.
whacked. You're
Don't
like,
kill that
oh
guy.
fuck. But like with these movies, except for Scream and like the Jamie Kennedy character, like you don't want him to die because you're like, oh, he's the one that fucking knows everything. He's kind of funny. Everyone else, you're like, there's nothing like.
Oh, I wanted him to die.
I mean, we all went to go see Paris Hilton die in this movie. That was
Yeah.
the point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She was the first to sign on. The cast was built around her. And why do they sign her on? Because she was like a very famous it person, and they were going to kill her off. So like everyone,
Yeah.
You know what's crazy though? The first two people they looked at for that role were Jennifer Connelly and Kate Winslet.
Really?
I heard about the Kate Winslet thing, which is crazy.
Mhm. And Jennifer Connelly's older than that,
I
isn't
think-
she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know. Imagine doing fucking Titanic and then being like, "You're going to do House of Wax." Kate Winslet was like,
I know.
"No, I was in Titanic."
She's like, I'm good.
That's all she has
Thanks.
to say for the rest of her career. I was in Titanic.
Yeah. No, I don't know. You guys want to pick the winner?
Let's corn these. Oh, we got to pick a winner of the Rumble. Fuck.
That's right.
Yep.
You're on the Remake Rumble, buddy.
Ah.
It's your show, Gucci
This
T.
is
So
why
you
it's so
started
hard.
off.
I'm gonna have to just fuck. They're both purely entertaining for different reasons. I'm gonna go with 2005. Fuck.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I think so. There's just more to it. There's just
Okay.
like way more happening in it, and I think that's the only reason why. Not because it's there's just more happening, more kills, more thrills, more wax.
God damn.
More ass and
My heart is
titties,
going to be
whatever.
broken on this
I know,
episode.
dude. It was a tough one, dude. That was tough.
Yes.
It's tough, man. It's tough.
All right. Ublia, go ahead.
It wasn't.
Pick yours.
It was hard. It was hard.
Pick your winner.
right. So, while neither are groundbreaking movies, the original, although it holds up, mostly great practical effects, and some interesting storytelling, and something that is quite terrifying, especially for the time period. I don't think that it stands out to me at all. I liked it. The reason
Motherfuckers.
I am picking the new one is because listen, during that time everything was getting taken over by the start of CGI, or the start of like CGI really starting to look more usable, at least. There were many different ways they could have gone with this movie, and they really picked a hard way to do it.
Yeah.
Taking that group of people out to Australia, building fucking wax building on a soundstage, filming like a reality show in the background of it. I think that I like this one more, and I think that this one holds a little bit more. I hate even saying this because it's not in the giant scheme of things, but it holds more cinematic history to me than the original, because nothing else really did that at the time. And yes, it turns into a generic slasher. Yes, there's all the things that happen in other movies, but they did it really well, surprisingly well. And it's funny, like this movie, even when I was watching it, like my husband walked in and was like, "Oh, that's the one that takes place in that weird like fake town of wax or whatever." It's like he remembered parts of it. And even today at work, when I mentioned we were doing a podcast on this, like other people that don't even watch horror movies were like, "Oh, that's that one." It's like people know this. And
Right.
like the Blair Witch Project with their stupid fucking marketing, like fucking Long Legs with their marketing, all this other shit. The marketing of this fucking movie was literally Paris Hilton in a tent taking off her clothes and in like red lingerie. And that
She's gonna
got
die.
people in there. But then they actually made kind of an okay movie out of it, which is fucking crazy because they didn't fucking have to. They already had the people's money. So I'm sorry, E, you're gonna be heartbroken, but in this sort of
Devastated.
well, number one, I don't think it's a remake. So this whole thing is like, it doesn't,
This is asterisks.
No.
It doesn't matter?
I don't think so. It's still
just the
based
same
off
name.
It's based in name though. It wouldn't
It's
exist without the
very
original.
loosely based off.
well,
the-
listen, assholes, as someone who was there and helped coin the phrase Remake Rumble, I can tell you that when I was first talking about it with E, I was thinking of legitimate remakes and not things that existed in the same universe or were
loosely
inspired.
based. Yeah.
Loosely based. Yeah. They had to be at least like 50% based, and this one twas not.
I did not know the rules.
No, it's not.
fine.
I'm just saying right now it is. We'll let it pass.
Yeah.
We accepted this. So I'm just trying to make E feel better.
Just
But
trying to console me.
between the two, it's the Paris Hilton one, and I stand by it.
It feels worse when you say it that way.
I know, right? I'm trying to
Paris
like
Hilton.
twist that knife a little bit for him. Now that I consoled him, I'm like twisting
Right.
again.
Giveth and you taketh away.
It's what
Don't
I
be
do.
sad, E. You're an artist.
Yeah.
You're an artist, E.
Well, no surprise. My pick is going to be the original or the 1953 House
Nope.
of Wax.
Loser.
Yeah, definitely the
Mm-mm.
loser. Yeah,
It's
was
so not hot.
I also while watching this, I realized, am I like Paris Hilton? Because I call everything hot and rad and sexy all the time.
So
She doesn't
bad.
say
She's
rad,
influenced you
but
more than you think.
But I do. But yeah, oh, dude, when they were showing her the practical effects, she goes, "That's sick." I was like,
Mhm.
she's right. That is sick.
Oh,
It's like, fuck.
oh, you
I'm
guys-
like Paris Hilton with like way less zeros at the end.
you know, I have to give it. I got to give it to Terry. The whole week he was like, "Dude, the 53 one, man, this is so much fun." Oh, just like,
No way. He was saying it was boring.
Until it got going.
Until it got going. Then he's like,
until it got
man,
going.
oh yeah, and he's like going on about. I'm
I
like,
forgot how good it was. I hadn't seen both of them. I had only seen once a long time ago.
and even starting off this episode, he's just gushing over the 53 one, and then
Okay, that part surprised me because I was like, who is this motherfucker? He was talking about how motherfucking slow it was until it got going at the very end. I was like, and now he's like, this is my favorite movie ever.
It gets going earlier than that.
Yeah.
It's just in the beginning, like right after the initial fucking like
Look,
burn
it's
down.
fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I know,
It's
but you
fine.
were like, this holds up, and this is blah. Dude,
It
you're gonna
does
listen to
hold
this
up.
episode, and you're gonna be like, I was sucking this movie's dick, and then I
It does
just
hold up.
stabbed it in the back.
look, all I heard for that first half was glot, 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 about the 53 one. So I was surprised. But yeah, I love the 53 one. It's the first one I ever saw, even before I saw the original. And this time period, the 2005, 1995-ish through the next 10, 15 years is like my least favorite time of horror movies, with exceptions here and there. But just this template of like, we're going to get the young stars to do all the stuff. And
Sure.
I hate it. Like, I hate it so much. It was like a first time watch for me too, the remake. So I went into it completely blind because I didn't remember anything. But yeah, mine was the original.
You know what I
the
remembered
1953 one.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
I remembered things differently. So the scene where she gets the thing through her head,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I thought the way I remembered it, because the theater was cheering, was that her head, she slid down the pole. But rewatching it, the killer
Hmm.
puts
There's
his
something
foot-
that
puts his foot on her back and pushes her down, which is way more brutal.
Yeah. But that kill in particular, not that specific one, but that type is like in so many where they, stick them up on a wall and then they slide down or whatever.
Yeah, but in 2005, was that like one of the first times it was happening in a while?
No, I feel
Was
like
it also? I can't remember if that one was in 3D or not.
I don't
Well,
think so.
I think there was a 3D version of it.
Maybe
I feel
years
like
later.
there was, but I don't think initially it came out. But yeah, I think that type of kill was used a bunch, especially in like the Halloween sequels, the bazillion of them, that there's
Sure.
always some sort of, not Tubi, but yeah, Tubi. Is it Tubi? No, Pluto TV was showing like all of them for like a week or two. So I would see, Busta Rhymes, great acting 5 times a day. Yeah, I'm just like, Jesus Christ, these
dude,
movies
you know
are
what I
so
remember
bad.
of this movie too? The fucking poster.
Yeah,
The poster for the 2005 movie is fucking sick.
right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, we We should have, if we were going to do a remake rumble of House of Wax, it should have been Waxworks. And that's what I get confused with this movie a lot. Is not, I mean, they weren't close together, but just the setup. Because I'm like, wait, I thought they were in a museum, but I got that so many things mixed up with Waxworks with this movie. And I'm like, oh wait, no, that's not it. That's a completely different movie, which is still not really a remake, but it's a loosely based adaptation of these movies. But yeah, so there it is, folks. Fucking 2005 House of Wax won the fight. Ding, ding, ding.
Newer always wins.
It's killing me.
Original.
All right, it's my turn to pick.
Uh-oh.
I had so many things since we just initially it was going to be a Vincent Price movie, but we just did one, so I'll have to push that off. There was going to be another old one, but we just did like 2 old ones.
Oh, so he's picking a real old one
Sinners.
that came out
Sinners.
last week called Sinners.
Not Sinners. But let me correct something I was saying. Michael B. Jordan was not in Brightburn. It was Chronicle. 2 superhero movies that I get confused all the time. Yeah.
I didn't see Chronicle.
Chronicle was the only movie I liked Michael B. Jordan in ever. But it's a good movie. If you've seen Brightburn, it's like 3 friends find this fucking meteor and they all get superpowers, or 4 friends or whatever. But then one of them turns bad. No, Chronicle. You never saw it?
No.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan and then 2 other friends, like Michael B. Jordan and like a cool white kid, and then like the nerdy, I think might be his brother, a nerdy white kid. They all come up on this like meteor they find, and they touch it and shit, and they gain superpowers. They basically turn into Superman.
Sick.
But one of them turns
I've only ever seen him in
bad.
Black Panther movies.
Yeah. It's
I've
actually
seen Creed and Black Panther. Yeah.
Chronicle is actually a really good movie, and Brightburn. They're both good movies, but very similar into the superverse of superheroes and Superman-like people. But anyway, so yeah, since we were doing old movies, Vincent Price movies, this movie, I swear to Christ, we did. I also found out as I'm looking through our old episodes, we did Halloween 1978 at some point. I'm like, I don't fucking remember that. And some other movies, but I thought we did this movie. Absolutely thought we did this movie. I know I talked about it on the 80s, our best 80s episode, but my pick is Fred Decker.
So it is going to be old.
Well, not like 50s.
Holy shit. Michael B. Jordan was in The Wire?
Just like 40 years ago.
Yeah. Well, that's better than like 80 years ago or however
40?
long.
40 years ago? That's not too long.
Yeah, no. Fred Decker's 1986 sci-fi horror, just masterpiece. Night of the Creeps.
Ugh, classic.
Okay.
I swear to God, I thought this was already done. Because there was
I'm
a few.
surprised you haven't done that.
Me too. Because I always thought we did it. We talked about it on the 80s episode, but I went back and scrolled through our whole list like 1,000 times, and it was not on there. A bunch of other movies that I was gonna pick that I'm like, oh, we did that? Huh. I don't remember. But yeah, so Night of the Creeps will be the next episode we do whenever we can.
Tom Atkins, right?
Mm-hmm. Thrill me.
That's his line. Thrill me.
Yes, sir.
It's from this movie too, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Thrill me.
yes. Yeah. Anyone got anything else to say before we end this fantastic remake rumble where the kid got his heart broken?
Yeah. There's this talk of Paris Hilton saying that she was putting on a voice back in the day where she was like acting like.
Oh, like acting like
she doesn't.
The ditzy blonde.
Yeah, she doesn't really talk like that. There was even interviews where she broke character sometime.
Yeah, but she was like that in that behind the scenes thing. She was like that the whole time, pretty much.
Camera's rolling.
She's not that talented to switch off.
What are you talking about? She started off with A Simple Life, which was a reality show where they were around her 24/7, where she coined all those terms. I guarantee you that she knew what she was doing.
She's way too pro wrestler for me.
That's one thing that's come out more
She's always
recently.
working.
Like she's always been pretty smart.
Well, I mean, her and Nikki both,
Mm-hmm.
were always pretty savvy. So I'm sure they were dude, they're Hiltons. So I'm sure they're coached from childbirth, basically. And especially if like, oh, you're going to get into acting. Oh, we're going to get you, because we want everything to be marketed and, just like the Kardashians.
So.
They were the Kardashians before the Kardashians.
Yeah, the Kardashians only exist because of them.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
Yeah. So.
Well, yeah, because Kim was Paris Hilton's
friend.
Yeah.
No, she was her wardrobe person.
Mm-hmm.
Like she picked all her outfits. She was her stylist, and that's how. Because Kim was the stylist, and the others were just whatever they were.
That's hot.
No, I think that's definitely part of her persona, but I don't think that's like her whole who she was.
Yeah, they had a fucking board meeting.
They played into the dumb stuff.
This will definitely sell. You should just make this your image. And she's like, okay, like I'm fucking stupid rich anyway, so I don't give a fuck if people love me or hate me. Either way, I'm gonna get to do weird rich people shit. So I'll just play this character for whatever.
Now, does she end up in Ready or Not too?
Maybe
she could be one of those rich people.
She's probably played Ready or Not.
Probably.
She probably has.
I mean, I hope so. God, if you have that much money, like,
why not?
Yeah, I'd expect
they can just like clone you and speed up your aging.
I'd be disappointed if she didn't.
She's shooting people. That's hot.
Yeah.
Eating people. That's hot.
All right, my dudes. Thanks for tuning in for another Remake Rumble. Black eyes and bloody lips and swollen jaws and all. At least that's how my heart feels.
He is so sad.
I am so sad.
He's sad. We beat him up.
You did.
Starring Paris Hilton beat out
of.
We emotionally slapped him across the face with Paris Hilton's boobs.
Oh God. Yeah. But yeah, next time we're gonna be doing Night of the Creeps. So stay tuned and check out that episode, you little zombie fucks.
I hear you looking
Yeah,
for
Dick.
candy, man, bitch.
Yeah.
Give me some sugar.
Stay hot, bitches.
Like scary movies.
Want some candy?
Sweet.
looks that big old storm right square in the eye and he says, "Get away from her, you bitch!"
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Your move, creep.
Listen to them. Children of the night. What music they make.